All right. I think we are live. We are good. In which case, hello. Especially hello VOD watchers and such. Give me just a second. Make sure everything is working as intended. This is the first time we're ever doing something like this. Hi, I'm Raptor here. I think we're ready to go. I'm excited. Mostly just to hold myself accountable and do some fun little game dev stuff. Hopefully this whole stream doesn't get muted because I'm gonna be listening to Sonic 3 music probably all day. Regardless though, if you are watching this, wonder this is all about, I have been learning game development for a bit now, not like a long time, but past couple months at least, after getting back into it recently. And that has made me want to actually work harder and actually make something, you know? So I have been working to make my own games. And I'm very excited about that. I hope you're excited about that. But yeah, I'm going to be doing some programming. We're going to be doing some work and everything like that. A quick disclaimer. It's in the chat message, the description rather. But I am going to reiterate the point. I am not an amazing programmer. I am not the greatest of all time, not even close. There are people on this platform significantly better than I am. I am a novice. I am still learning. I'm going to be making mistakes. I'm going to be doing things incorrectly. Bear with me. And don't offer criticism. I would love criticism. I'd love advice and things like that. But just know that you're talking to someone who is still very much in the learning phase. With that in mind, I think it's about time we get started. I am going to switch over to our main scene. Oh no, my desktop. Anyway, here we are. This is my my main space. I'm using Zed as my main IDE lately. I used to be a VS Codium guy. But after trying out Zed and really like giving it a shot, I really like the way it does things. I've really been enjoying that. Apart from Zed, I've been really enjoying where am I going with that? Zed. Good editor. I like it. I especially have been working. I have the game loaded up here. Let me talk a bit about what you're looking at right here, in case you have no idea what we're doing here. This is a web-based game built in TypeScript using the. Let me go over the Kaplay game framework. If you've never heard of this, I do recommend it absolutely for beginners. I'm starting out with it. I've struggled a little bit with it. I definitely have struggled really the best way to put it. I've struggled a little bit, but I've been getting better about it and I've been really enjoying it, especially these days. It is free, open source, has a whole bunch of default royalty-free assets for if you're using their engine, which is super nice. Got their documentation all right here. And if we really wanted to, you also have their Playground, which is a web-based IDE, which lets you just play and do some stuff. Things like, you know, these sorts of things. I'm going to quickly hide the now playing. We'll bring that back in a second, but gives you kind of an idea. There we go. But no, I've been using Kaplay. I've been enjoying it. Another engine I have been using, we might switch over to this if straight programming and TypeScript starts getting boring and I want to do something a bit more interesting and stimulating. We have, as you guys can see everything I do on my desktop. Oh, scary. I've also been playing around with this engine a little bit called CTJS. It is another web-based engine, and it's got some cool stuff. I'm still absolutely learning this one, but I do have some demos, air quotes and air quotes, that I've been playing around with. I can just quickly launch this to kind of show you. Oh. Why are you upset? Chrome extension. Never mind, I guess it's not working. Any example projects we can just quickly show off? There we go. This is not something I made. This is one of their defaults, but you got a Flappy Bird style game, little cat with a jetpack. But CTJS is basically, I'm terrible at it. CTJS is basically Game Maker, but for sorry, just looking at stuff. It's basically Game Maker, but for web-based games like JavaScript, TypeScript, that sort of thing. So we might come back to that. Right now, probably going to be doing some work with could play TypeScript, that whole jazz, you know how it goes. You probably have questions about what are you even looking at? What is this thing doing? Let me walk you through it a little bit. Let me also show you the actual demo in question. This is not how it's going to look by the end. This is very much in the realm of just it works, leave it, it's fine sort of category, you know. Let me also make sure I can see chat. Perfect. All right. So right now I'm working on a clicker game. I'm working on a game inspired by things like Cookie Clicker, Candy Box, a Dark Room, stuff like that. Just because it's a nice, easy thing that I can do and actually start with and learn. You know how it goes. But basically, you've got it's just inspired by Cosmic Horror stuff because I just love that sort of thing. I'm gonna hide the now playing again for just a second. But basically, you got this thing, which is the thing you use to gather resources that can be converted into passive clickers. I got a cheat button to give you like 1,000 of the thing for testing purposes. You can kind of see that as this goes up, this will kind of impulses, or I call it breaths, make some resources, then wait, make resources, wait. I was cheating myself some resources. Ignore that. That's just for testing purposes. And then you got things like, oh, I'm going to buy that, which will increase how much I get per click on this. And if I got 10,000, I'd be able to get this sort of power up. That's all definitely in the realm of just testing to see if everything works. And it does work. For today specifically, or at the very least what I'm working on right now, bring back the now playing. At least for right now, what I'm working on is I need to start thinking about UI. I need to start thinking about making everything not look nice, but organizing it. So that's definitely what's on my agenda today. Till then, again, I got all the stuff right here. Right now, a lot of things are living in the main file. If you've never used JavaScript or TypeScript or things like that before. Play sorts everything, it puts everything, it has its little like web application, all the stuff you need to run right there. All of the scripts tend to live in the source folder. So all of my game logic right now especially is in main.ts. And again, that's where things like where I'm building the buttons, where I've got the clickers going on. It's where I have back to this thing, this freak who spawns in. They all live inside of main.ts, and then other folder files can be used to create new stuff. Like for example, this file play.ts. Go away, GOG. Play.ts kind of holds the game window and all of the stuff surrounding that. So it's got things like, oh, the background and the sprite scaling, the game width, game height. Resources holds all of the files, all of the fonts, sprites, sounds, etc. Button is my little constructor project for building buttons in TypeScript for this project. And state especially right now has my upgrades and my resources, the actual clicker game aspects is kind of, this is game logic, this is game resource logic, if that makes sense. Regardless though, we are about ready to get going, I think. If I wanted to show off a little bit of like what can be done, we could make things like new power-ups or a new resource system. But again, I really do need to work on the UI, and I'm thinking not to go full Primeagen/Pirate Software on you guys, but to kind of give an idea, my idea is to kind of have a folder that kind of just sits over there, and when you click over here, that expands into the thing that holds a bunch of buttons and everything like that. And then over here, we could have a dock that would contain things like this line, this line, this line. And then maybe later we could even introduce new tabs over here of just different things to open. That's kind of where my headspace is at for that. Regardless though, we're going to be kind of working on that. The big thing right now is figuring out exactly how to we also just make sure, by the way, that there's no like updates to the source code that needs to be done. But I'm pretty sure I didn't work on this last night, so should be fine. Yeah, nope, we're good. Ignore the fact that I used the GitHub desktop application for Windows. I'm sure I would get clowned on. All right. Now that I know, by the way, that my stuff's working, I'm going to hide my little cheat button for now. We'll bring that back at another day. So for debugging purposes, I'm probably going to make a simple object that is going to, we're just going to try to have it act on you click it, and then that sets a flag to true. And when that happens, it moves to a certain position. And then if you click that thing again, sets it to false, moves to a different position. That's kind of what I'm thinking is going to be the debug version. And that is definitely going to be an object. This is starting to get a bit messy already, so I definitely might be splitting that up into its own UI file. But until then, that'll be pretty easy. let's do later. For now, let's just find a nice place to put it. I won't put it in buttons. We're gonna right here. The big thing especially is in order to have all of the buttons move with it, they're all going to need to be children of this object. We'll see how that goes later. Just make sure I got everything looking the way I want it to over on my other monitor so I can see chat and anything else if necessary. There we go. Actually, I changed my mind. One last change. Perfect. That's what I want to see. So again, this is done in JavaScript, TypeScript, and everything like that. So if you know JavaScript, I'm sorry. Not because JavaScript's bad, because I'm bad at it. So for now, I'm going to do a rectangle. How wide are my buttons usually? As of right now, they're usually 128. So if it's at least that wide, it'll encompass everything. So we might just do double that. Might just do game height right now just to see. And if we head on over here, that's not bad. Might need to move the button a bit more. I'm also going to definitely set color. Don't worry about it. I've been using the K black color for play. Referencing my buttons. Yeah, they have a 1 pixel outline in white. That makes it look like that. Much nicer. Maybe a little smaller than game height. Let's do I like to work in a 4:3 aspect ratio for games. I'm old school like that. So maybe 400. A 499, that'd be a bit silly. I think it's pretty alright. And then I would just need to position. Sonic drowning music. You are too excited right now. That's the last thing we need to hear in chat. Much nicer. Let's see. So if we, because its origin point is going to be about the center. So if I did 0, 0, for example, oh, right now it's the top left corner. And then positive numbers will bring it down to the right. Like I just did, for example, 64 by 64. Yeah, that'll move it down and over this way, which isn't bad. I think 32 might be the height I want. Maybe set X to just be like the 1 pixel for the outline. I think it's pretty good. And we will have another button kind of like attached to this as a child. I have to go read the documentation for making children objects. I believe I can also just set its KZ level to be a bit lower for the sake of making sure everything is shown properly. So for example, if I added -10, yep, it'll be at the 10th layer down of the default layer. If that doesn't quite make sense what I just said there, objects that are rendered in 2D space are usually done so by a Z layer. And so whoever gets the highest layer gets rendered over objects with the lowest layer. So for example, if I wanted to have this panel be over every object, the easiest way to go about that would just be to have its Z index be set to +10. Then that's going to get drawn over everything, no matter what. If it's on this layer, if it's less than 10, it's going to get drawn underneath this little object right here. But if it's that to -10, like we had before, it'll be under everything. And that's one of the things we can use to kind of make a fake UI box. We're definitely going to be moving these buttons a bit more inside here in a bit. Right now, we're definitely going to work on just getting this to move. I'm going to give myself a note just to say end position. Highly recommended if you're like me and learning how to program. Leave yourself breadcrumbs, leave yourself trails to let yourself know, hey, here's kind of what needs to be done so you're not trying to guess later. So for that, I'm actually going to, because it's 256 wide, I'm actually going to set this to -256. Maybe a bit higher than that, actually. Technically, it'd be a bit more for the outline. We'll come back to that. 256 is fine. The Y position is fine for now. I'm going to set myself right up here. We'll do it. So I'm making myself a Boolean here. We actually want that to be false when we start. I can actually probably put that button just right up there and kind of live in this top corner. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to copy my little cheating button. I'm just going to call it that. Button position will be 1 and 32. It's only going to be a 32 by 32 button. And then we're going to remove the game logic from that. Because all that's going to do is set, let's do an if else. So we'll start by basically saying, hey, if UI press ain't true, then all we'll do is just say, yeah, the button could actually probably handle the logic of moving the object. Yeah, UI panel position. Actually, I want to do k.move. I'm able to do that in UI position. No. This is where the point now where I'm going to be thinking slow. I'm going to be like, what did I do again? Oh, don't mind me. Sorry. Just playing around with the stream software, making sure everything's looking all right. Well, the easy thing we can do right now is literally just say, hey, just make UI press true. This is the super easy part. Right, if it's going to do that, I'll need to be a let. There we go. And then otherwise, if else, if UI press is already true, then we just do the reverse. I can already see it's not happy about that. There we go. Else if. That does nothing. I need to be moved a little bit more. I move those buttons. You. I'm going to comment you out for 2 seconds. And I'll just go ahead and print to the debug log and make sure it's telling me that everything needs to be going on. A debug log, and literally I just need it to tell me UI press. Which should be returning me true, false. We have a loop. Easy. Also could have printed that to the actual web browser terminal, but the nice thing about Play is that its debug log will actually draw to the screen, which is nice. So now that we got that going on, we might be able to actually run some art position. I'm thinking out loud here, don't mind me. As someone still learning how to program, I often will just do random experiments like this. Just like, let's just see, why not? Is it okay with me putting code in there? I could do a vector too, maybe? I'm going to go to the documentation, do a little bit of required reading. the nice thing about play and having the documentation and its playground laying around is if I ever want an example of seeing how stuff like that might work, all I have to do is just go look at what its test projects might look like, and I can get a good idea. So for this in particular, we are doing a UI. This pause menu actually for their little Flappy Bird demo actually be a pretty good reference. Because if you hit escape, that's exactly what I would want. So yeah, this is what I want to not steal from, but reference. Yeah, there's the pause button it has for its top left corner. Yeah, it's a function. There's a lot to take in with that. The scary part about me deciding, hey, you know what, like, I'll hold myself accountable. Let's do some game dev stuff on stream. There's now pressure to actually do the stream, man, while also needing to read how this works. Would there be any easier ones? I don't think there would be. Let's go back to what we're looking at over here. Because again, we got the button that'll do the loop now, which is good. There we go. We could do the position.add. Grab that starting position again. UI panel dot position add. We would need to increase it from 256 to the 1. So I think I want to increase it by 257 and 0. I'm not going to test to see if it's going to put it back. I just want to see that. It did not. Look at the console. You're going to tell me anything about that? No. copy that. I'm just saying dumb. On button press, and we're just going to tell it, hey, space. Actually, I want on key press space, and then just need to do this real quick. Literally, I just wanted to update this. Now if we go back, oh, there we go. Actual errors. Oh, I see. Watch your comments, chat. They get mad about that in JavaScript. What if I were to just manually set it to the final position I want it to be in? What if I just did that, you know? Oh, there we go. Easy peasy. Now when I hit space, moves position I want to. That's the beauty of having just really make a quick button like that and just see how that works. So now, since all we want to do is just update its X position, don't need any of that. We can literally just go and say, hey, do that. And then if it's the other way around, we want to put it back. We can do the exact opposites where it'll equal negative 256. Is this efficient? No. Does it work? Yes. I say confidently before checking to see if it works. It works. And the nice thing about that is now we can actually edit the position's the box's Y position without worrying as much about making sure it'll actually go back to the way it's supposed to be, because that doesn't matter. We're only updating its X position right now. I'm actually going to increase this to 64. We don't need this note anymore. I know exactly what we're doing. Much nicer. And I can also update button text over here in the same thing. So this dot text. I don't think I want this. I think I would want... Oh, gotta go check my button. We'll update that with an actual spray layers just for debugging purposes. It's mad about this object is possibly undefined. This is just for pure aesthetic layer. I was just going to see if I can't make it update this text. Oh, I know what I can do. Literally, I can just go you const menu button is equal to a new button. Then I can say menu button text. Just seeing all of its different properties there. Just want to check all the streams we're going for. Yeah, 40 minutes ain't bad. Because my button has its text as a part of its function. I don't want to. Well, I guess I could update. No. I don't want that. We'll do that later. I was trying to be cute. Don't need to be cute right now. It works. That's the important part. Now, for the difficult part, making all of the other UI buttons children of the UI panel. Once again, let's go do some required reading. There's actually a demo we can go look at. It's not under UI, but children. And you can see its cute little demo right there. So the thing children will be for on updates. Game objects. I want to look at the children objects. Object.add. I see. Okay. Okay. So hypothetically, I'm going to grab my little button I commented out earlier, and we can make that a const. Just so that we have that. Equals UI panel. We would need to move this underneath. going off this sort of example, need to be the UI panel that we need to be add there. So instead of k.add be UI.panel. Panel.add. That can be done, just not easily. I think that would require us having to move UI panel to its own script, which I'm not opposed to. And actually, Zed makes that really easy. Move to a new file. Perfect. So we now import K from Kaplay, adds that whole thing. UI dot panel dot. Don't mind me, chat. Just thinking. Not sure if I am actually ready for UI panel to be its own file. I'm just going to update that. It's going to make it very upset. Yes. Import all that. And we'll just comment all that out. Oh, right. I was like, where'd my button go? I remember now. My other button got in the way of it. I'm just going to set difficult sets UI layer, a Z layer higher. For now, let's just move this button. There we go. I can see my button now. I kind of get the idea of what I need to do. The execution of it is eluding me. Now, another thing we could do would be to literally just, for the sake of debugging, literally wrap all of the buttons in an if else and just say, hey, if this UI panel, UI price is true, then you get to show up. If not, you don't. But that would be not very efficient and not quite what we're trying to do here. Might be a shorter stream just because again, we can kind of cut up on this and I would need to go do some more required learning. But hey, if nothing else, we got the UI panel actually drawn to the screen and a button that updates position, which is better than I would have thought. Again, that works. Now that I actually kind of know that is working, by the way, I can actually set that to be 0 or -1. Oh no, I know what I want. I want to update that. That. We'll figure it out. Might have to call that a day and then I'll do some required learning and I'll come back. Maybe work on a different project. This one's the one that's been on my brain lately. But might work on something different for the next game development stream. This will not be the last one though. I do want to keep holding myself accountable. I want to make stuff. I want to make games. But regardless though, that will do it. There. Not that I think anyone should, but if you did want to use my code as kind of like to learn or to reference it, you have my permission to. I don't care. Again, I don't recommend it just because I barely know what I'm doing. There are significantly better programmers out there you can learn from. Regardless though, thank you for watching and I will catch you guys later.